Okay, so welcome to the first episode of Tips and Tricks. So nighttime crappie fishing can be very fun and very enjoyable if you have the right equipment. So let's talk about the float that I like to use when I go fishing for crappie at night. Okay, so hands down, my favorite bobber would be this one right here. This is the Nite Brite lighted floater, and as the name implies, it becomes a lighted float at night. Pretty simple to achieve this. The LED light that comes with it, you simply just turn it on. This whole float is hollow, and so you twist off the cap, insert in the LED light, put the cap back on, and now this portion, the yellow portion on the very tip, is going to be shining brightly. Okay, so let me show you guys how to assemble this float. So again, very straightforward. You have the LED light that comes with the package. All you have to do is simply press it down. That will activate it, and now it's shining. What you do is you twist off the top. Then inside this bobber, you have 4 little grooves. You can put it wherever you want. So simply just put it into one of the grooves, just like that. And then what you're gonna do now is just cap it off. And now you have a bobber that's gonna be shining brightly at night. Once you cast this thing out there, you're gonna be seeing this from miles away. So definitely, this is my #1 recommendation for anyone. Okay, so one little thing that I will mention is that the original LED light that comes with the package, unfortunately, it is not the best quality. And so, yes, there is a light out there, but it's not the brightest one. So what I actually do is I buy replacement LED lights from Amazon. This replacement LED is going to be so much more brighter than the original LED light that comes with the package. So let me turn off the light and let me show you guys the comparison between the two. So on my left side, it would be the original LED light, and on my right side it would be the replacement LED light. Alright, so as you can see on my left side, this is actually the original light that came with the bobber. This is the replacement light that I bought off of Amazon. As you can see, the right side is so much more brighter, so I think switching to the replacements will definitely make your fishing a little bit more enjoyable at night. So hands down, I recommend using the replacements instead. Another cool feature to this bobber is that you can actually fish it as a fixed bobber or fish it as a slip bobber. So what I mean is, if you want to fish the bobber as a fixed floater, you simply grab your line, wrap it around the groove a few times, and now you have a bobber that's going to stay in place and it's not going to move. Otherwise, if you want to fish it as a slip bobber, what you do is you simply insert your line through the bobber and through the top out on the bottom, and now you have a bobber that's going to be moving up and down, and now you can easily adjust the length that you want to fish at. So to close up this video, one last tip for you guys is that when I am using this bobber, I use braid 100% of the way. Now, one of the issues that I kept running across earlier on was that when I go for the hook set, sometimes it will randomly snap right there where I did the connection knot. And a reason to explain that is that you gotta remember, when we're fishing crappie, we're using a very light line, 4 to 5 pound. And so the line itself is very thin already. Now you take that string and you're wrapping it around the screw a few times, spring goes over. The initial fishing is not an issue, but as you keep fishing, the friction builds up right there, and then eventually the line becomes so weak to the point where when you go for the hook set, the line is snapped. And when the line snaps, you lose the bobber, you lose your whole setup. And this bobber is not cheap. Give or take, I think this bobber retails for about like $8 to $9. And so you do not want to be losing this, especially if you only have one bobber. If you lose this bobber at night, all of a sudden night fishing becomes a hassle. So definitely, ever since I switched over to braid, I have not had any issues of the line snapping. So again, braid to a leader. You actually connect the braid on top, leader down below, and then now you have a safe-proof system. The leader is going to snap before the braid ever does. And so that's why I encourage everyone to be using braid. It will just make the fishing so much more enjoyable because you'll have all your equipment with you by the time you're done fishing. Okay, so that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. I know it's a little lengthy, but again, if you're crappie fishing at night or just fishing fish in general at night, I would say try using this bobber. This specific one that I actually really enjoy, this is the 4-inch. I know they make it a little bit bigger. I think the 4 and the 5, but I think here the 4 is the perfect size if you're fishing for crappie. It is not too big, not too bulky, very subtle, and so when the fish does bite it, it just kind of boom, disappear. And so I think this is definitely the way to go. So definitely check this bobber out. And so with that being said, this completes my first episode of tips and tricks. So thank you for watching. Okay.